career that he's had. He smacks that one into center field. Ross takes a circuitous route, looking up. That ball is a double. So Jeter has to stop and go back to second base, but he jumped all over that West offering.
Not quite sure it would have mattered if Cody Ross even had gotten a better route, but a high fastball and Jeter jumping on the first pitch. No waiting for it, off the 434 sign, and then caroming into the other part of the diamond, leaving it the double for Jeter. A lot of times they have hitters who take a lot of pitches. A lot of times Jeter, he'll just sit and guess, and if he gets his pitch, he has a good swing.
So the Yankees off to a quick start. Jeter's double. Now it's Damon and Teixeira that West has to deal with. What's gotten into Johnny Damon this year? 14 home runs for the Yankee outfielder and 39 RBIs. Damon now 35, the Orlando product. He smoked that one just foul. That almost got to Mick Kelleher, the first base coach.
These guys are veterans. They're very aggressive when they see mistake pitches up in the zone. By the way, Derek Jeter hitting .452 against lefties, second only to David Wright in the major leagues.
Jeter will steal third if West doesn't pay attention. Looks him back and misses high with a fastball. It's Rob Drake behind the plate. Joe Girardi manning the dugout for the Yankees. Girardi in his second year. Last year the Yankees were 89 and 73. A good record, but not good enough to get to the postseason. Third in the American League East, and it snapped a streak of 13 consecutive postseason appearances
so far, and you have to expect it a little bit from a 23-year-old. Little jitters, a lot of pitches up, and that usually indicates trying to overthrow.
West with a 3-1 pitch. Jammed Damon. And it's 3-2. Fourth year with the Yankees. Of course, Damon played both sides of the street in that rivalry with the Red Sox. He was a part of that 2004 World Championship team. The ones that came back and beat Derek Jeter in the American League Championship Series. That's the last ALCS the Yankees have been in, by the way. And Damon goes after that breaking ball. West gets a strikeout.
Nicely done. He got a little break on the 3-1 pitch that Damon tried to check his swing and then put him away with a slider. Take a look at the defense tonight. There's Chris Coghlan in left with Jeremy Hermida, the right fielder, Helms, Ramirez, Uggla, and Cantu around the infield. How about the hot bat of Ronnie Paulino behind the plate?
Tex. Mark Teixeira. Supremely talented and now supremely compensated. And a low strike from Sean West. Teixeira, of course, signing the huge contract. 8 years, $180 million. And one of the big offseason fish that the Yankees landed, along with CC Sabathia and A.J. Burnett. Broken bat, and it's going to roll to center. Jeter started back towards second. Hanley was playing Teixeira to pull. And so a break for the Marlins. Jeter ends up at third.
Kind of interesting. A young runner, and we would tell you that he made a mistake, because as a runner you have to know where that shortstop's playing. And Jeter can see Hanley Ramirez. The ball was stung. He thought Hanley was going to make the play, so he goes back to the back. So the Marlins get a little bit of a break. Jeter only gets to third.
And it's Posada now who stands in. As we told you, Alex Rodriguez getting a couple of games off, fatigued after coming back from the hip surgery. He's not had a day off. So not in the lineup tonight and not expected to be in the lineup tomorrow night.
Talked about a couple of the switch hitters. Posada and Teixeira each hit lefties much better than righties. Posada comes into this AB hitting .366 against left-handers.
And healthy this year. Last year, a real struggle, shoulder injury. Smokes it. Foul. The shoulder injury limited him to 51 games last year. Much decorated in his career. 5-time All-Star. 5 Silver Slugger awards. His career numbers kind of fly in the face of what he's doing this year. West needs a ground ball. There's one out. Here's the 1-1. Didn't miss by much. It's 2-1.
Just to show you the difference in how that shoulder bothered Posada. Last year, 3 home runs and 168 ABs. He already has 9 this year and a little over 130.
He hit 20 back in 2007. Smacked into right field. That's a base hit. Hermida picks it up, and the Yankees are on the board first. 3 hits against the rookie Sean West in the first inning.
Right now, Sean just trying to get himself relaxed so he can hit his spots. He hasn't done that. And when you miss spots and lead pitches out over the plate to guys like Teixeira, Jeter, and Posada, they're going to put good swings on it.
Brings up Nick Swisher, another addition to this Yankee team. A high energy guy. Swisher was a White Sox last year, and as usual had big numbers, home runs and RBIs. Takes a strike at the knees, but he didn't hit all that well in terms of average. Hit just .219 at 24 homers, drove in 69 runs. Opened his career in Oakland. Already has a dozen home runs as a Yankee.
Kind of guy that is going to give you home runs. Not a high batting average. He's a .244 lifetime hitter.
On the ground, Helms, Ugla, Cantu. So West gets the double play he needed, but the Yankees are on the board first.
Lineup for your Florida Marlins. Leading off, batting left field, Chris, dude, where's my car, Coughlin. Batting second, in charge of clubhouse security and drinking many cups of coffee, Uncle Wes Helms, playing third base. Batting third, your shortstop, Hanley the Nino, Spanish for the Nino Ramirez. Batting fourth, Jorge, spending more time in the mirror than in the batting cages, Cantu. Batting fifth, your second baseman, Danny, strong to the finish because he eats his spinach ugla. Batting 6, so easy, a caveman Ronnie Polino catching behind the plate. Batting 7th, Jeremy One-Smeed Hermida. Batting 8th, when he's not mopping your floors, he's hitting your grand slams, Cody, Mr. Clean Ross. And batting 9th, on the hill, Sean, Guitar Hero Champion West.
Nicely done by Brett Carroll. With the Marlins lineup, which includes Chris Coghlan facing Andy Pettit. And Coghlan stands in, taking a fastball high from Pettit with a count at 1-1.
I think when we hear those lineups, we always find out a little bit more about some of the Marlins players.
Yes, we do. Pettit with that steely stare has won 221 games in his career. And a big breaking ball for a strike. But Tommy, he's a little different pitcher than the last time the Marlins faced him in a Yankee uniform.
He'll use that pitch that you just saw. He used to just bury cutters in on the hands of right-handed hitters. He doesn't throw as hard, but still moves the ball around the plate.
Bounces one up there to Coghlan. The count is 2-2.
Let's take a look at the scouting report on the 37-year-old. Cutters to righties. He still likes to do that. He's won 20 games 2 times and be alive at first base. He has a good pickoff move.
And he's working with the familiar guy behind the plate in Posada. Coghlan sends that one to left center. Cabrera is over, and Melky makes the catch. 1 out.
Let's check out the defense for the Yankees in this game tonight. You start in the outfield, Damon and Melky Cabrera and Swisher in the outfield. Baroa and Jeter on the left side. Robinson Cano, Mark Teixeira. And behind the plate, Jorge Posada.
Wes Helms now against Pettit. Not a lot of Marlins have a lot of at-bats against Pettit. Helms is one, and he's just 1 for 11 against the 37-year-old. Uncle Wes. Pettit missing outside. One of the things that the Marlins have done well this year is they have beaten left-handed starters. 16-7 now against lefty starters, including last night getting John Lester in Boston. And Helms on that breaking ball pulls the trigger a little early. 1-2. Brady Gonzalez, skipper of the Fish. There's the breakdown against lefty starters. Second best in the National League. Helms shoots it foul and stays alive with the count 1-2. The Yankees yesterday endured a 5.5-hour rain delay before they started their game against the Washington Nationals, and then the Nationals went out and beat them at soggy Yankee Stadium. The good news was for the bad weather up there, and our weather tonight is absolutely perfect. Mikusuki brings you our weather. Come play our way. Gorgeous night, nice and warm. The Yankees got wet last night. The Marlins got wet last night in Boston. Marlins had to wait around to close to midnight before they finally called the game last night. And the Fish didn't arrive here in South Florida until 5 a.m. One-two.
You look at the line of Andy Pettit. He's thrown 79 2/3 innings. He's given up 93 hits. So because he doesn't have that overpowering cutter that he once had, he gives up a few more base hits, but he still is tough and knows how to work out of situations.
This down low to Helms.
Does that a little more. Turn the ball over to right-handers.
Pettit part of a star-studded rotation, which the Marlins will see in this series. Got him. Turned it over on Helms. So there's 2 outs, and here comes Hanley.
Back-to-back changeups. If you're a right-handed hitter, you kind of file that away because Pettit threw 2 changeups in a row, and the second one got Wes Helms chasing.
Hanley stands in now. Yeah, it's A.J. Burnett tomorrow night against Josh Johnson. Probably the premier matchup of this series. Chris Volstad and C.C. Sabathia go on Sunday. Now Hanley has seen Pettit and has hit him. He's 5 for 7 against the veteran lefty.
Yeah, the Marlins have a couple of guys that have hit Pettit well.
Two big breaking balls, and it's 2-0. Got the fastball, he chops it out to Jeter. And the sure-handed shortstop throws him out. A neat and clean 1-2-3 first for Pettit. One nothing. The Yankees on top. Robinson Cano, Melky Cabrera, and Angel Baroa against Sean West, who got off to a shaky start in the first. Derek Jeter hit one 430 feet away for a double. And then singles to Mark Teixeira and Jorge Posada put the Yankees on the board. Robinson Cano takes inside. Cano, 26, Dominican Republic. An all-star in his career.
Boy, he has been on fire, too. Last 4 games, Robinson Cano is 10 for 16.
He's a nice complement to the superstars in that infield. A-Rod at third, Jeter at short, Teixeira at first. Cano very good defensively. West gets a strike. It's 1-2.
You see how effective his slider can be when he gets ahead, especially to the left-handed hitters.
Let's see what he has. 1-2. Fastball, ground ball in the left. Yankees have another hit. That'll bring up Cabrera. Marlins and Orioles start on Tuesday, and it's a Tuesday through Thursday. All 3 games, 7:10 starts. Look in Tuesday's Miami Herald for your 2 for Tuesday coupon. 1-877 Marlins. The Yankees are navigating through the National League East, just like the Marlins are picking their way through the American League East in interleague play. And a lot of the teams that the Yankees have played and that the Marlins have played are playing each other tonight. High pop out behind second. Hanley lines it up and makes the catch. The Phillies are hosting Baltimore. The Orioles, of course, coming here, and the Phillies have a 2-0 lead in the second. Toronto, who just swept the Phillies, in Washington tonight, and they're scoreless in the second. The Mets are playing Tampa at home. Tampa Bay and the Mets scoreless in the second inning, and Nate McLouth has given Atlanta a 2-0 lead over Boston in the first. So the rain has cleared out of Boston. Throw over to first. There were some rumblings from the Red Sox clubhouse after last night's game. The Marlins winning 2-1 in a rain-shortened game. Many of the Red Sox players not all that pleased that the game was even played, because most everyone knew there would be about an hour-and-a-half, 2-hour window when they started the game. And of course the Marlins and Freddie Gonzalez got that 2-1 lead on home runs by Dan Uggla and Ronnie Paulino, and then Ricky Nolasco had to hold on.
I suspect they would have had a different feeling had they had a 2-1 lead themselves.
I suspect you're right. They might have been quicker to call it as well. Lined in the left. Coughlin on the run, won't get it. It's going to go to the wall. Round second is Cano, headed for third. Coming to the plate. Hanley's relay. Not in time. Angel Baroa.
Well, when you get a guy who last started June 1st and you give him a pitch up in this area, you don't want Angel Baroa to hurt you in this game. And all the fastballs that Sean has thrown have been up in that area. And a guy that doesn't play that often, when he sees pitches like that, he jumps on it.
Baroa getting the start for Alex Rodriguez. Delivers. And here is Pettit with one out and a runner at second. Probably going to drop down a bunt. No, takes inside. His career numbers. Of course, he spent time with the Houston Astros, so he had plenty of National League at bats. He lines it down the left field line. No need for a bunt. Pettit drives home the run.
Well, in his long career, it's just his 25th base hit. But again, not hitting spots. And it's not going to be a long night for Sean West if he keeps making pitches like this. Even the pitcher, who came in with a 133 batting average, saw a pitch well and stroked it nicely.
That prompts a visit from Mark Wiley to the mound to visit with West. So first time through the Yankee order, 6 Yankees have hits. It's back to the top of the order. Derek Jeter saw one pitch and nearly hit it out back in the first.
We've talked about Sean West. He's 6'8". He's around 240, but he's not an overpowering. He's not a 95, 98 mile an hour type pitcher. He has to have good location. He does not tonight. And he's paying the price with a good hitting lineup, the Yankees.
Yankees very much like the Boston Red Sox, whom the Marlins just saw. They will grind you down. So Jeter's second at bat. Derek Jeter will turn 35 in 2 weeks. And this is his 15th year with the Yankees. As we told you, he now has 2,615 career hits. Those are his career numbers.
Boy, he has just been a model of consistency his entire career.
Consistency and leadership. He's a guy that never had any off-the-field problems, has been a model citizen. Certainly the leader of the Yankees in the clubhouse. Remember, he was just a youngster when that string of postseason appearances started in '95. That was his rookie year. Jeter drives it into center field. Don't think they'll send Pettit.
Well, and you notice the green light on the 3-0 pitch. So Jeter, who is now closing in on a .500 batting average against left-handed pitching, a smart enough hitter to give him the green light 3-0 because he's going to be selective.
There's Joe Girardi, who was the manager of the year in 2006 for the Fish.
So Girardi knows Jeter's approach. Heck, he played with Derek Jeter.
Here is Damon. Johnny Damon struck out back in the first. Dr. Phillips High School in Orlando. Into right. And the hit parade continues. And sooner or later, the Marlins are going to have to get somebody up.
Yeah, sooner or later, it's going to have to stop, and somebody else is going to have to go out and get some innings, because every pitch has been up. Polino reaching up. These guys are veteran hitters. You've got to make good pitches to get the Yankees. And Sean West is really, really struggling right now.
And the last guy you want to face when you're struggling is Mark Teixeira, and here he is, having singled back in the first. Teixeira drives one right field. Hermida in his tracks makes the catch. Tagging at second is Jeter, and he'll get to third. Well, you might just see Derek Jeter. You might see Hanley Ramirez in St. Louis on July 14th. Baseball's biggest stars go head-to-head for the summer's biggest event, and it's on Fox, the 2009 Major League Baseball All-Star Game.
One pitcher we're seeing loosen up right now in the bullpen, just back with the ball club after 3 rehab assignments in the minor leagues. Raniel Pinto getting loose.
The guy you would expect to see would be Burke Badenhop, but remember, he threw 4 1/3 innings on Tuesday, which is as good as a start in relief.
Because everything is up. We talked about this Yankee lineup taking and being patient. They're aggressive tonight. They're jumping on everything that Sean West is throwing up there.
Oh, 0-2. Well, the hope obviously is that West can fix his problems, change his location, and at least give the ball club a few more innings.
You're right, because the one guy that you would get the innings out of, you just mentioned, Burke Badenhop, 4+ innings in Boston. So if Freddie were to go down to that bullpen, Hopper's just resting right now. The guys you're bringing in are going to give you an inning, maybe 2.
Struck him out. West with a little breaking ball. Posada's not real happy. And the inning is over, but the hit parade continues, and the Yankees lead it 4-0. Jorge Cantu comes to the plate. It was a day at the office yesterday. First pitch was 7:14. The Marlins, of course, arriving a lot earlier than that at Fenway Park on a getaway day. Stopped play about 9 o'clock, and it took 2.5 hours of steady rain before everybody said that's enough. On to the tarmac, waiting at Logan. 1:30 departure, 4:30 arrival.
Grab your bag, get in the car, and head home.
Honey, I'm home. Good morning. Cantu, Ugla, and Paulino.
I know when I rolled in, the newspaper was already in the driveway.
Cantu turns on one, pulls it down the left field line. It's a fair ball. Damon overran it, and he'll pick it up. Cantu's got himself a double. Cantu getting not a week off, but a week without having to go out on the field. He was the DH throughout that tour of Toronto and Boston.
Plenty of time to peck away at a guy who's given up a lot of base hits. Good adjustment by Jorge Cantu, and not a good play by Damon in left field. His route was not a good one, and he didn't get to the ball, and the ball went into the corner, and Cantu got the double. So that's a good way to start.
So Ugla and Paulino, they were the home run tandem last night in Boston against the lefty John Lester. Goes after that first pitch, a little pop out into shallow center. One out, here comes Paulino. A gentle reminder that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Marlins. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Accounts, descriptions of this game may not be disseminated, whatever that means, without the express written consent of the Florida Marlins.
Rich, you talked about Jeter, who will turn 35 in a couple of weeks. Damon is 35. Their outstanding future Hall of Fame closer, Mariano Rivera, is 39. So there's somewhat of a sense of urgency for the Yankees, I think. I mean, they have a mixture of some young players, but to get back postseason again and try to win another championship.
Well, they certainly addressed the rotation in the offseason, throwing big money at Sabathia and Burnett. But you're right, the core of this Yankee team in that long string of success, some homegrown guys. Posada, Jeter, it used to be Bernie Williams out there in center field. Very much a veteran team. In a division, a hyper-competitive division, in which 89 wins last year wasn't good enough to go anywhere. Yankees competing with Boston. Toronto is just a game behind the Yankees in the standing. Paulino bounces it up the middle. Cano fires over to first, and there's 2 outs. Throughout our communities, unique individuals give back in many charitable ways. Kristen Melfera, Robert Caskey, Linda Watts are local finalists in People Magazine's All Stars Among Us through June 24th. You can vote by going to foxsports.com and click on the link for All Stars Among Us. The winner from each Major League city will be honored before the All-Star game on the 14th. Jeremy Hermida now.
This is a little thing, but it's early in the game. And yes, the Yankees have a 4-0 lead, but the Marlins had a leadoff double. So many times you see the leadoff double stranded on the bases. Dan Ugla on the first pitch, he appeared to try to go the other way, but he got underneath the ball, and that kept Cantu at second base.
Good fastball by Pettit. Posada comes back. Oh, 0-2. Hermita's bat has sparked to life over the last 3 weeks to a month. Oh, 2. And he pulls it foul. I think that's one of the keys to the Marlins' success in the month of June. The outset of the show showed you the Marlins in June and the quality of teams they've been playing. The fact that Cody Ross, here comes Joe Girardi out to the mound to check on Andy Pettit.
Yeah, they got out there quickly. Longtime assistant athletic trainer Steve Donahue. He just looked like he had a little stumble when he came off the mound, but he appears to be okay. Yeah, as he tried to backtrack, thinking he might have to get over and cover first base. Right there when he starts to head back toward first.
Still 0-2. I think in June, one of the big keys has been the production of the bottom of the order, whether Hermita's been down there, or Ross, or Paulino, or Baker. All of a sudden, it's not just Cantu and Hanley doing the damage.
The times that Ronnie Paulino's gotten in the lineup, he has supplied some power, some big base hits. But I think if you just look back at the beginning of this month, all the teams the Marlins have played, better than 500 teams, Milwaukee, San Francisco, St. Louis, Toronto, Boston, and they've been able to hang in there and go 10-7 in those first 17 games.
After 0-2, it's 2-2. Nope. Posada set up outside.
Look at the bewildered look from Andy Pettit. The setup is off the plate and outside, but many times that is a strike.
No, it's outside.
But it is outside. Well, a lot of umpires will call that.
Got him. Down goes Hermita. And the Marlins waste that leadoff double. Cano through 2 innings of work.
Well, I'm disappointed, Rich. I know we put out a pretty good challenge for Marlins fans to come out and try to outnumber Yankees fans this weekend. I'm not so sure that's happened tonight. Got a couple more games to go, though.
Tough to tell. There hasn't been a whole lot to jump up and down about for Marlin fans so far. Let's see if Sean West can make an adjustment. Nick Swisher, Robinson Cano, and Melky Cabrera. Swisher bounced into a double play to finish off the first. And West catches a corner for a strike. Swisher has a much different hairstyle now than he's a Yankee.
Funny how that goes, doesn't it?
In Oakland, it was long and flowing.
Yeah, he had the he went the way of Giambi.
That's some good years in Oakland. 35 homers, 95 RBIs in 06. Down he goes. A little better location from West.
Yes, it was, and the fact that he got ahead. So a 2-strike pitch. There's the slider and a good spot for him. So he's gotten Swisher twice. Swisher hit into a double play and he struck out.
Cano single back in the second. 3 runs in the second for the Yankees. Certainly will be intriguing to see how the Yankees and the Red Sox continue this season. Ross has plenty of room because it's been rather lopsided so far. I think you and I were both impressed with what we saw in Boston, and the Yankees probably think even more of the Red Sox in terms of what they've seen this year. The Red Sox haven't lost a game to them this year.
Yeah, the Red Sox are 8-0 against the Yankees this year.
How about the Blue Jays with all those injuries? Even with Halladay on the disabled list, they sweep the Phillies. And they're 1 behind the Yankees and 4 out behind Boston. Melky Cabrera takes a strike. Where the Phillies continue to lead the East despite losing 3 in a row. The Mets 3 back. The Marlins have pulled in front of Atlanta and are 5 back, 3rd place in the East. A look at Baroa, who had an RBI double his first time up. That ball is hammered left field, and it's going out in a hurry. Melky Cabrera hits his 7th.
It's very easy to figure out the game plan of the Yankees offense tonight. Get yourself 3-0, 3-1, get a fastball, and what they're getting are mistake pitches, and they are having tremendous swings. So on a 3-1 fastball, Melky Cabrera hits home run number 7. It's right down the middle of the plate.
Eighth spot up now on El Baroa.
I think we've talked about the month of June, and we've seen what starting pitching can do when the Marlins get those quality starts. The way Nolasco is pitched, the way Andrew Miller is pitched, the way Josh Johnson is pitched. And it makes a difference to come out, establish something on the mound, and then the offense can take over. Tough to get that going, though, with 5 early runs, which is what the Yankees have off Sean West.
9 hits. Baroa, who came up, actually got to the big leagues and was a Rookie of the Year with the Kansas City Royals. Was a Dodger last year. West strikes him out. But a home run, a 2-out shot by Melky Cabrera, and the Yankees are up 5-0.
And what about you, Lily?
Marlins girl, all the way.
Now, did you each do each other's makeup for this game?
She did mine, and her sister did hers.
I volunteered to do his.
How is it working out? Because this could create some friction, I would think.
Well, either way, we go home winning. Either way.
One person wins, yeah.
Yeah, at least we're winning for now.
So you managed to now. Have you been with the Yankees off to a good start? Have you been reminding her about that, or you kind of?
Not really. I just stay quiet just in case they have a comeback in them.
Where are you from, George?
I'm from Cuba.
Okay.
But
Just down here?
Yeah, man.
How'd you become a Yankee fan?
Since the age of 2, the first hat I ever had was a Yankee hat, and I was always raised up by Yankee fans in my family. Derek Jeter's my favorite player, and I actually met Alex Rodriguez and Jeter a couple of times. I'm at the Boys and Girls Club, so.
Well, you have to knock some sense into him, okay?
Yeah, I do sometimes. I have to remind him not to get too cocky about the Yankees.
Remind him about 2003.
I always do. But he still reminds me of all those little champions.
Hey, you guys. Good talking to you. Take it away.
Cody Ross rips one to left and hits it out. And the Marlins are on the board.
Great swing by Cody Ross. Takes care of a pitch from Pettit, home run number 11. But it just makes me think back to the leadoff double. All of a sudden, instead of 1 run, it could be 2 runs for the Marlins. They have to manufacture to get back into games when they get down early. Nice swing by Cody.
"11 home runs on the season now for Ross, and it's West up there. Pettit misses. It's 1-0. West still looking for his first big league hit. So the Marlins have 2 hits against Pettit, the double and the home run. Pettit has struck out a pair, and he's on the verge of striking West out. West, it's a little chopper. Teixeira is a Gold Glover and one of the best fielding first basemen in his era. Makes a nice play. Family Sundays on the 21st. Marlins and Yankees. Remember, it's a 5:05 start. First 5,000 dads get a Marlins T-shirt courtesy of Metro PCS 1877 Marlins. The number to call. Tomorrow night, 7:10 start, 5:05 on Sunday.
You know, I think Teixeira, talking about his defensive ability, has made the entire Yankee infield better. Derek Jeter's made just 2 errors. Cano's made 3. And A-Rod's made 4. So he has helped the other guys.
Oh, I think if you ask the collective infields in Texas, in Anaheim, and in Atlanta, they will all tell you the same thing, that wherever Teixeira has been, that infield has been better for it. Chewy is here tonight. One and 2 to Coghlan. Chris flied out back in the first. And you look at this Yankee infield. Jeter has made only 2 errors. Cano has made just 2 errors. Teixeira has not made an error. Two and 2. Pettit's been free and easy. 43rd pitch of the night.
And once again, Chris Coghlan gets a 3-2 count. 19th game in the leadoff spot coming into tonight. Hitting over 330, on base percentage over 420 as a leadoff hitter.
3-2 pitch. Line shot right at Baroa. So a good AB is out number 2. Wes Helms comes to the plate. Our Toyota Trend. At home, the Marlins lead the all-time series against the Yankees and have won 5 of the last 7. Helms fouls it back.
Of course, we talked about Andy Pettitte in that game 6 when he was beaten by Josh Beckett, but in game 2 he beat Mark Redmond 6-1 and went 8 2/3 innings. Gave up just 1 run, and it was an unearned run.
Yeah, just 1 earned run did he give up in those 2 World Series starts.
And the difference, just watching him pitch tonight, more changeups.
Yeah, fewer cutters too. That one in the dirt. You talk about postseason in Pettitte. He's made 35 career postseason starts and thrown 218 innings. Both of those numbers are tied with Tom Glavine for the most all time. He's second in wins, tied with Glavine at 14, one behind John Smoltz, who has 15.
Well, he's been, we talked about Jeter, a model of consistency. So is Andy Pettitte.
Up and in.
Andy Pettitte's had 12 seasons where he's had 13 or more wins.
And last year, as you look at Alex Rodriguez,
Relaxing, trying to get that hip and his batting stroke in shape.
last year Pettitte was 14-14. It's the first season in the big leagues where his record was 500. Everything else has been a winning season.
And he still won 14 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, A-Rod, since coming back from hip surgery, has not missed a game. He's 3 for 34, so he's struggling offensively. And Joe Girardi decided to give him a couple of days to get back at full strength. I'm sure upsetting a few Yankees fans who came out to see Alex Rodriguez. There's a familiar face.
Tomorrow night they can watch a former Marlin, A.J. Burnett, take them out. A.J. against J.J. tomorrow. Baroa backing up. Boy, Teixeira is so good at first. Bails out Baroa. Marlins get a run on a big fly from Cody Ross. Holmes, Sean West. And it's Andy Pettit. Even Pettit got in on the thrashing with an RBI double in the second.
A slashing double, line drive down the left field line. You know, you forget, and there is such a following here in South Florida, Yankee fans. You forget 34 years the Yankees had spring training in Fort Lauderdale. So cultivated a lot of fans during their springs for 34 seasons before they moved over to Tampa.
West misses inside. Well, and obviously with all the transplanted folks from up north, you've got Yankee allegiance, you've got Met fans, Red Sox and Philly fans as well. Down goes Pettit. Cue the duck.
Number 2, shortstop Derek Jeter.
Last Yankee catcher to win a Gold Glove. It's not Jorge Posada, and I don't think it was Joe Girardi.
Even though Joe Girardi, a very good defensive catcher. Boy, you got to be careful with Jeter swinging at that first pitch. When he puts the first pitch in play this year, he's hitting .393. Now remember, his double in the first inning was on the first pitch. I don't think it was Rick Cerrone. I think you might have to go back just a little bit into the 70s.
To the other captain.
It's enough hints.
Jeter takes, and it's 2-1. Derek Jeter came in to this season a career .316 hitter. And that's where he sits right now at .316 and hasn't budged up or down. And that is 5th all time in Yankee history. The names that you would expect to top the list: Babe Ruth, .349 career average. Lou Gehrig, .340. Joe DiMaggio at .325. Earl Combs at .325 as well. Just a smidge in front of DiMaggio.
Number 18.
Yeah, believe it or not, the first walk issued there by Sean West.
Yeah, this is a night where the strikeouts and walk totals don't tell any of the story.
By the way, Damon's real good at hooking a ball in the hole on the right side. If you make a mistake middle in, and that's a hitter that has a plan. Sometimes you look at some of the Marlins at bats and you wonder if there's a plan involved. Yeah, you mentioned Damon with the Red Sox. He actually spent 6 years with Kansas City. Way back as a young player.
Then went to Oakland. Spent 4 years in Boston. And he hurt the Yankees in 2004 in that
it's a
dramatic comeback. He had
home runs.
2 big home runs in that series.
One of those guys that we've talked about, like a Jason Bay or Carlos Beltran in small market cities. I mean, he had over 200 hits one year in Kansas City, scored 136 runs, but you just didn't hear that much about Johnny Damon.
And of course, he gets to the bigger stage in Boston and now in New York. always been a great on-base percentage guy. Career on-base percentage always been up in the 360s, 370s. He was 375 last year on-base percentage. But he strikes out here. West gets a fastball by him. So, I mean, if you look at raw numbers now, Sean West has punched out 6 and walked 1.
Well, I think it just goes to show you by getting ahead, even though he got that pitch up a little bit, but because Damon had 2 strikes on him, he was able to throw it by him.
Teixeira now. Baltimore native, Georgia Tech All-American, and a Texas Ranger to start his career. Then really has spent the last couple of seasons kind of as a baseball mercenary. Twice he has been traded in the heat of a pennant race, from Texas to Atlanta first, and then from Atlanta to the Angels.
And wherever he's been, he's produced 5 straight years, 100 RBIs. And I think another guy that falls into that category. You know, some heard about Teixeira in his days with Texas, but all of a sudden, now that he's on the big stage, if he continues to hit the way he has, and there's no reason he won't, more people will hear about Mark Teixeira.
Well, Teixeira with his 20 home runs and 55 RBIs certainly has endeared himself to Yankee fans already.
And it was interesting, he did not get off to a good start, and it has been well documented. He was hitting 198, and then when A-Rod was activated, he just took off. Now you wonder if it just happened that way, or if A-Rod's presence in the lineup made that big of a difference.
You know, on Marlins Live, Jeff Conine had a good point when he was talking about the relationship between Rodriguez and Teixeira. The 2-2. It's down low. He kind of compared it to some other guys in lineups. A Manny Ramirez to a Big Papi. A Barry Bonds to a Jeff Kent.
Jeff Kent, perfect example.
That would be strike 3. Around he goes. Jeff Kellogg rings him up. And Sean West works a scoreless 4th. That is breaking news. It's 5-1. efficient Honda. Hanley Ramirez and Andy Pettit meet for the second time tonight. Hanley bounced out back in the first. Pettit touched only by Cody Ross for a solo homer in the third. Cantu and Ugla will follow. And Hanley did exactly what he did back in the first with the two-hopper. Safe! He gets by the tag. Jeter's throw brought Teixeira up.
Well, we talked about Jeter having made just 2 errors this year. Had that plenty of time. Disgusted look after that throw that he didn't quite get all the way on top of. And a good little dance move by Hanley Ramirez to sidestep the tag attempt of Teixeira and to touch the bag.
That is a nice move.
Sometimes you can pick up that first baseman and you can slide, but sometimes it's too late. Hanley made a good move to get around the tag.
That was not an easy call for Jeff Kellogg, the first base umpire. But he was on it. So Jeter's third error of the season. Cantu double back in the second. And Jorge sends it into center. Cabrera makes the catch. Summon the duck. Yankee catchers, Gold Gloves, last to win it.
How about Thurman?
Thurman Munson. Did they give out Gold Gloves in Yogi Berra's day?
No.
You would think that with the Aflac trivia question and the Yogi Berra appearing in the Aflac commercials, that we might have a Yogi influenced question.
I think the Gold Gloves, and we may do a little research on this. Our crack staff just starting to get awake now. I think.
Wait a minute.
No, they never slept. They're on their second win right now. But I think the Gold Glove came into being somewhere in the mid to late 60s.
There was a case of Mountain Dew outside the production truck this afternoon, but apparently that hasn't been enough to get everyone stirred up.
Late 50s, we're told. 1957, the Rawlings Gold Glove came into being.
Ugla takes a strike, and it's 2-1. Dan popped out on the first pitch that he saw in the second. You noted that Pettit has such a great pickoff move. He has a historic pickoff move. He has picked off 95 career runners, which has passed Kenny Rogers as the all-time leader since they started keeping that statistic.
Nice breaking ball. I think Dan Ugla has slowly brought his average up against left-handed pitchers. Remember, at one time it sat below 200. He came into this game 233, still not a glowing figure, but he's raised it gradually against some left-handed pitching.
Yeah, the first year in '57, they gave a Gold Glove to one player in all of the majors. Sherm Lawler was the first Gold Glove catcher, and Ugla takes a strike.
Now, I'm not looking, but I believe Sherm Lawler was with the White Sox. Pettit made some good pitches during this at bat to Dan Ugla and found that outside corner with that fastball.
You're right on that bonus question. Sherm Lawler would win 3 Gold Gloves.
I think I had his baseball card.
Sherm Lawler was a Yankee at one point in time. From 47 for 2 seasons, 47 to 48. Just in quickly reading the Sherm Lawler story, Yogi Berra beat him out for that catching job. Hanley still at first.
And then remember later on when Elston Howard did a lot of catching, Yogi moved to left field.
Ronnie Paulino with a count 3-1. Jim Sundberg followed Thurman Munson with a long string of Gold Gloves. Sundberg won 6 in a row.
Texas Rangers.
Paulino cranks that one into the seats. Carlton Fisk won the Gold Glove before Munson's first.
A lot of people wondered last night in that game, Rich. Remember Jorge Cantu in the 6th inning before the Braves game, before the delay, got a base hit. His hit counted. I know we weren't sure, and we found out after the game, and happy to report to Jorge Cantu that his single in the 6th inning, and then it was right after his base hit that the game was halted.
That rule was put into place when they, a few years ago, instituted that the different standards for a game that is halted by rain or suspended.
Yeah, the old rule, that wouldn't have been a hit. And of course, the reason I'm saying that, I'm looking back at that game, and Ronnie Paulino, Jorge got that base hit, homered and singled. So in the shortened game, Paulino was 2 for 2. He has gotten hits in every start. He's had 11 starts. This is 12.
And he jumps on that high breaking ball to left. And Damon races in and makes the catch. Marlins leave a runner and trail Andy Pettit and the Yanks 5-1. How's your night going over there?
Rich, Tommy, how you doing, fellas?
Hi, Richie, Tommy.
We're doing good. We needed the excitement tonight.
You got it here tonight.
Yeah.
This reminds us of '97 and also '03.
Well, in one of the lopsided games, I suspect '03, the Yankees really came out cookie and jumped all over Sean West.
Well, you know, in reality, you have to appreciate the fact that they came from Boston here and flew in 4:30 in the morning, so the boys didn't have too much rest. And of course, you're facing the Yankees, you know, and I think he's just a rookie coming on. I think he really had done well after that third inning, you know, started pitching well. He got 7 strikeouts, and we haven't been able to help him.
Jorge Posada, Nick Swisher, and Robinson Cano. All right, guys, have a good show.
Okay, guys, you too.
Yeah, and I think what Sean West is doing here, and there was a moment in time where we saw activity in the bullpen, but he's allowing Freddie Gonzalez to not have to go into that bullpen so early. If he could get another inning or two out of him, he'd be in good shape.
West is due up third in the bottom of the 5th. And whether that plays into his future in this ball game or not, we'll see. What you don't want to have happen here as a manager is for West to get in trouble this inning, and then you would have to go get a reliever and either double switch for that position in the 5th inning, that's early, or get your reliever in and only let him face a couple of hitters.
All those things Freddie didn't have to think about last week in the American League cities.
Amen, brother.
That just shows you the little nuances and the differences in the National League.
And that means your bench coach, and in the Marlins case, Carlos Tosca, he can also, well, now he has to step it up, but you almost stand down a little bit into the American League, and it allows a lot more flexibility with your bullpen. For instance, there was a game in Toronto, and it was the 7th inning with a couple of outs. Freddie brought in Leo Nunez, and Nunez got that out and then went on to pitch the 8th. And the Marlins were near the bottom of their order in a tight game going into the top of the 8th. There's no way that he would have been able to do that in a National League game because he would have lost Nunez.
And unfortunately, that scenario you pointed out that Freddie didn't want to see have happen is taking place, because Sean West had trouble throwing strikes to Posada. And remember, the Yankees have been aggressive on 3-0, so be careful. And there's a 3-0 fastball to Swisher. So second time tonight, Reniel Pinto gets loose.
Swisher is 0 for 2. Third in the American League in walks. No surprise coming out of Oakland's system that he's always had high walk totals, high strikeout totals as well, as Tommy documented.
Father Steve Swisher, longtime Major League catcher.
Swisher really pounced on that pitch, and into the corner it goes. Posada will lope into third. And with Cano coming up and Pinto ready in the bullpen, West may have seen his last hitter.
A couple of innings where he had success, he wasn't falling behind. But as soon as he fell behind in this inning, and you're right, that is going to be all, because here comes Freddie, and he's already made that call in the bullpen.
So a rugged night for the 23-year-old out of Shreveport. He leaves in a 5-1 game. Here's Art Marooney, called to the pen.
When you need a car, truck or van.
early on, pitches out over the plate and up. And the aggressive Yankee hitters had good swings, even Andy Pettitte. Mark Wiley got on the phone early, called down the bullpen, then he settled down, made some good pitches, the breaking ball, got ahead, was able to strike out some hitters. As a matter of fact, his career high 7, he tied that tonight. But some mistakes here in this inning, a walk, a double by Swisher, and that's going to be all for Sean West. An interesting line, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, but just had trouble getting the ball down and locating early in the game.
So here is the return of Reniel Pinto. And he gets Robinson Cano. Marlins infield has crept in to make room for Pinto. Guy that's been up and down a few times. Christian Martinez is sent to Jacksonville. Martinez has been up a couple times with the Fish, and I would expect we'll see him back again this year at some point.
Well, Pinto had some elbow inflammation. That calmed down, and then he got himself some rehab assignments, some back-to-back games to get himself ready for here.
Everybody's okay.
Billy, look out. Always be ready, Billy.
Oh, 0-2. After Cano, then Cabrera and Baroa. Paulino digs it out.
Let's see if Billy was able to dance out of the way. I think he ducked right away.
Smart fish. Got him. So a good strikeout to get. Pinto has Cano, and now he goes to work on Cabrera with Baroa to follow.
Yeah, got ahead and then got the strikeout on that good Pinto changeup.
Busy night so far for Melky Cabrera. This was his 3rd inning home run.
Yeah, his last time up, home run number 7 on the year. So the switch hitter has had a couple of at-bats right-handed against Sean West, and he'll stay on that side against Pinto. So Teixeira, Posada, Swisher, and Cabrera, all switch hitters in the Yankees lineup.
There is Posada with Swisher at second. 5th inning, Yankees jumped on Sean West early. Pinto trying to escape the 5th and pitch out of a 2nd and 3rd and nobody out situation. He has the 1st out. But one thing that Pinto has going for him, and maybe this was in Ronnie Paulino's visit, first base is open. It's Baroa and then Pettitte. So that might be an easier opportunity to get out of this inning. And it's 3-0 now.
Yeah, and you don't have to give in now that it's 3-0. Make a couple of pitches, tried some change-ups, and Cabrera didn't chase him.
And now they're just going to put him on.
I think Cabrera, Rich, is one of those guys that's benefited from the way the ball has been flying at New Yankee Stadium. I mean, his career high, a couple of times he's hit 8 home runs, and he has 7 with his home run tonight.
So here's Baroa. He had an RBI double and he has struck out. Now a ground ball could get Pinto out of the inning. He's out in front 0-1.
The other thing you tell yourself as an outfielder, not much speed at third base in Posada.
Swisher's at second. Marlins just put Cabrera at first. Baroa at the plate. Oh, 2. Yeah, this is another stark contrast from National League game to American League game. This would be the number 9 hitter in the Yankee order, and Jeter would be on deck.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have this out in the American League. You got to go 1 through 9. And
there is Pettit.
There's the number 9 hitter,
who doubled back in the second. In the air, in not too deep center field. Posada's not going to tag. Ross makes the catch. And so Pinto is 2/3 of the way there.
Well, he's made some nice pitches. He struck out Cano on the changeup. Got a couple of strikes, got ahead to Baroa, and then gets him on a fastball. Pitches a little out over the plate, but got him to pop it into shallow center field. No chance for Posada to come in from third base.
So Pettit climbs in. Pinto gets strike 1.
Of course, Pettit, no stranger. He spent some time with the Astros, 3 years with Houston, 2.5 years. So got his cuts at the plate then.
He had a nice run with the Astros on the mound.
Boy, in 05, 17-9 with a 2.39 ERA.
Oh, 2. Renyel Pinto trying to dig the Marlins out of this 5th. And it stays at 0-2. Four-plus innings for Sean West. And he gives up 10 hits. And so far, 5 runs.
And ties his career high with 7 strikeouts.
Pettit hits a ground ball to third. Helms will step on the bag, and Renyel Pinto pitches out of that second and third, and nobody out situation. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. That was kind of the capsule of what we've seen. Sean West got knocked around. Andy Pettitte has been very good. A lively crowd. And a good buzz going in the ballpark. Pettitte goes to work now in the 5th. He was late getting to the mound for his warm-up tosses. Marlins and Yankees, of course, this is a 3-game series. Tomorrow night is a Super Saturday. Come on out to the ballpark, 7:10 start. Tito Nieves will be in concert. Of course, a fireworks spectacular. And the first 25,000 fans wearing Marlins gear get a Marlins cowbell, courtesy of Fox Sports Florida.
Well, this start tonight so far for Andy Pettitte is better than he's pitched. The last time out, he gave up 11 hits and 5 runs in his 6-2 loss to the Mets. And if you go back 4 of his last 6 starts, he's given up 4 or more runs. But right now, working here in the bottom of the 5th inning, he's allowed just the Cody Ross home run.
Hermida takes outside. The reality for the Marlins, nice to have Pinto come in and get out of trouble in the 5th, but the pitcher spot is due up 3rd this inning. Here's the 1-1. So as much as you'd like to see Pinto stick around, Sanchez is up.
But a nice job and a nice return by Rainiel Pinto.
That would be a triumphant return.
Yeah. And it gives Freddie that other left-hander. We talked about that over the last couple of weeks. He was kind of strapped with just Dan Meyer, the only lefty in the bullpen.
High fly ball, left field. Damon is over. Says hi to his mates in the bullpen, including Mike Harkey, the bullpen coach. We check in with Craig.
Thank you, Richard. I talked to Derek Jeter today. I said, hey, do you like interleague play? And quickly he said, no. He said, now I understand it's great for the fans and the fans enjoy it. He said, but I'm kind of an old-fashioned guy, and the way I like to see it is when you get to the World Series, you have no chance of ever seeing the team that you will face. But he did say he understands the excitement for fans. There are the numbers for this year. American League has dominated, and again, they lead. Batting average, edge, ERA, edge, as you might expect. The pitchers average 114 for the AL, 159 for the NL. And I asked Derek about that. He said, it's a humbling experience for the pitchers. They say they can hit, but look at tonight. Andy Pettitte getting a big hit for his Bronx Bombers.
Yeah, but I think Derek Jeter probably wasn't telling the whole truth, because his 293 hits,
95 now,
are the most all-time in interleague play. No one has more interleague hits than Jeter himself.
So he might not like it, but he's enjoyed it.
Cody Ross takes outside. It's 2-0.
So his career batting average in interleague play right around 340.
Ross into right field, and a sliding catch by Swisher.
Nice swing by Cody. You don't see Cody hit a lot of balls the other way, but locked in, swinging well, and a sinking line drive, but he's robbed on a nice play by Swisher.
So with the pitcher spot up, Alejandro De Aza comes up. Posada and Pettitte. That's been quite a combination. Pettitte and Posada. An even better combination has been Andy Pettitte and Mariano Rivera. In fact, that combination of Pettitte and Rivera are first all-time in most wins with a save. 59 times Rivera has saved a win for Andy Pettitte, and that has gone past the Bob Welch Dennis Eckersley combination. They had 57.
That wasn't a bad combo either.
They had 57. It's interesting because Mariano Rivera is going to the Hall of Fame. And the first 4 combinations involve both guys who are going to be Hall of Famers. One that is Dennis Eckersley, and the other Rivera, who's headed there. Good chart breaking ball. De Aza makes a brief cameo appearance in the 5th. The Orioles. We've got Wednesday and Thursday night for you as well. In fact, we'll be out there broadcasting on Tuesday night out on Bud Beach.
Well, I hope we have a night weather-wise just like this. That'd be terrific.
And we will have a full ballpark buffet to all those that attend. It's only $50 for the ticket. You get an all-you-can-eat buffet. You get to sit with us out in right field. There is Brian Sanchez. Marlins.com/fantasy if you're interested in those $50 tickets. And you get a shirt, and we'll put you on TV as well. Derek Jeter, Johnny Damon, Mark Teixeira, top of the order in the 6th. Brian Sanchez runs a fastball inside. He had to cut his hair, but it doesn't mean he can't have a little bit of flair to it. Nick Swisher.
Get it flared up a little bit with the gel.
Jeter slices that one to right, and it's foul. One and two on the Yankees shortstop.
2,616 hits now. Perfect night tonight, 2 for 2 and a walk.
Obviously a guy whose Hall of Fame resume has been enhanced by the many postseason appearances, and he's certainly played well in the postseason. 123 postseason games, and he has a .309 average in the postseason. And he's had good at-bats all night. Lines that one out to Cody Ross. It's the first time the Marlins have been able to get him out.
Well, he missed a game and a half. He had a little ankle sprain, nothing serious. He didn't start yesterday. Came in and pinch hit, stayed in the game, and he didn't play the day before. So obviously feeling healthy with good swings tonight.
Do you think that eventually they will move him off of shortstop as Damon climbs in?
I think it's possible. I think it's possible. I think he's maybe a little upset. He read that baseball Bible, fielding Bible. It rated him very low.
Right.
And I think he has responded. But as we mentioned, he's gotten a lot of help from Mark Teixeira at first base.
Ground ball out to Ugla on to first. Well, in the fielding Bible, the range factor is what has downgraded Jeter, but Jeter makes up for it. Knowledge, much like Cal Ripken did in his day.
Positioning. But then you mentioned Ripken, and he did eventually make that switch over to third base.
But there's already a third baseman that'll be here in New York for the next.
Yeah, and actually their second baseman isn't bad either.
5-6 years, and Alex Rodriguez. So they're. I mean, where would you put Jeter if he's not your shortstop?
Well, if there wasn't room in the infield, you might think about left field. He's not thinking about that now, though.
No, and I'm not either. I'm just talking about a year or two down the road. Sanchez with a good pitch, and he's out in front of Teixeira, 0-2.
He had that good split finger changeup to get Damon on the ground ball. And there it is again to get the swing and miss by Teixeira.
Sanchez very quietly has worked himself into tighter situations. And you kind of earn your stripes in the bullpen. And the Marlins have started to put him into positions in tight games, though he's in here simply because of West and his inability to get deep in the game. That's a long drive that ends up foul. The Marlins, as Tommy pointed out, really didn't want to go to Burke Badenhop because he pitched 3 days ago, having to piece it together with Shortman.
You and I were talking before the game because we had a conversation, I forget whether it was on the bus or the airplane, about Matt Lindstrom having not been used in a safe situation. But you had a chance to talk to him, and we do know he's been getting his work.
Yeah, Lindy said that in Boston a couple nights ago he had a side session that simulated an appearance for a closer. As we know, he's the type of guy that if you don't use him, he can get a little out of whack. And I hate it when that happens. Cantu steps on the bag. 1-2-3. Nice inning from Brian Sanchez. got to freeze the audio as well as the video.
Well, Andy Pettitte has efficiently gone about his business, giving up just those 2 base hits, the double and the home run, Cody's home run. He has not walked the batter. And really, since the home run, the only base runner, the throwing error by Derek Jeter, allowing Hanley Ramirez to reach.
During the break,
I think she accepted.
That was in a suite. That was sweet. He had Nick Swisher's haircut too.
It's the one thing at the ballpark. I think this would be a suggestion for guys. They always seem to accept at the ballpark.
So if you're not sure,
if you're not sure,
bring her to a game. Get it up on the big scoreboard.
Never seen a no on the big scoreboard.
Chris Coughlin takes a strike. There they are, the happy couple.
Yeah, he does have the Nick Swisher look.
Sort of that the hedgehog look, the rooster look.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Do you think she would have said yes to Nick Swisher?
Well, we better check on Nick's background.
Here's the 1-2. Maybe he told her he was Nick Swisher. Here's the 2-2 to Coughlin. High chopper. Coughlin can run well. Cano gets him. And Coughlin is 0 for 3 on a night where Andy Pettitte has been outstanding. Just the Cantu double and the Ross homer, and that's it. So at 85, Pettitte goes after Wes Helms. Tonight in interleague play, it's the battle of the East. National League against American League. Here, the Yankees beating the Marlins 5-1. Atlanta is beating Boston at Fenway 6-2 in the 6th. Jason Bay has homered. Nate McLouth has homered. The Mets at Citi Field are up 4-1 over the Rays in the 7th. A rare sight at that ball game. A Brian Schneider home run, his first of the year.
Now his playing time is diminished a little bit with Omir Santos, the job he's done.
Toronto has tied the game in Washington 1-1 in the 7th. And the Phillies are trailing at home 4-2 in the 7th. The Phillies earlier today filing a petition with the National League to play the rest of their schedule on the road. Struck him out. Beautiful pitch from Pettitte. Backdoor breaking ball.
Yeah, he gets you thinking just enough with the cutter, and then all of a sudden he flips his breaking ball and gets the outside corner. Just a perfect pitch. Yeah, the Phillies coming into play tonight 13-19 at home and 23-9 on the road.
And that's how they've stayed in first place, is by winning on the road. And the 0 for 2. Of course, after Pettitte, the Yankee rotation goes up in velocity and in salary tomorrow night with A.J. Burnett and then CC Sabathia on Sunday. Hanley strokes that one in the gap. Left center field. That's well hit. It's off the scoreboard. Racing around first. Hanley's got himself a double.
So the Marlins with 3 hits off Pettit, 2 doubles and a home run. And this double by Hanley Ramirez is going to be our checkers double of the game. You saw the pitch by Pettit up. He hasn't made too many mistakes. Got that one up and out over the plate. Hanley with a terrific swing. Hanley Ramirez on the year now, 21 doubles.
So Cantu, who has doubled and flied to center. Pettit's salary this year is not in the neighborhood of Sabathia or Burnett. AJ's making $16 million. Sabathia makes only 14, but that jumps to 23 next year. But Pettit's got a contract loaded with incentives and possible bonuses, which could bring it up to $12 million. It's a 1-year, $5.5 million contract. The Yankees protected themselves, though. There's 4.5 in incentives, and in a major league contract, incentives are at-bats or innings pitched. You can't do it on performance.
Yeah, you can't do it on wins or ERA.
Though that might be interesting. Here's the 1-1.
Well, and obviously, if Pettit reaches some of the numbers, such as games started or innings pitched, that just means he's healthy and giving the Yankees and Joe Girardi quality starts. There's Alfredo Aceves getting loose in the Yankee bullpen.
There's also a $2 million roster bonus if he's on the roster at certain points during the season. Well, the Yankees wanted to protect themselves. They didn't want to sign a guy that's 37, have it break down, and owe him a bunch of money.
And you know, obviously that's a good way to do things. Not every agent is going to buy into that. But that's a solid way to do things, especially for an aging pitcher who has had injuries. He spent times on the disabled list over the years. A 22nd round pick, Andy Pettit, back in 1990.
Deer Park, Texas. Cantu drives that one to center field. Cabrera goes back, looks up, and has it at the track. Boy, Cantu has hit the ball hard all 3 times and is 1 for 3. And it's still 5-1. Big night for the Yankees so far. A 5-1 lead, 10 hits. All 10 of those came against the starter, Sean West. And West was around for just 4 innings. An inning of Raniel Pinto. Brian Sanchez trying to squeeze another inning out. He pitched a scoreless 6th. Posada takes inside. Posada is from this side of the plate. Very Chase Utley like. That he crowds the plate, has those hands right out over the plate.
And you see where they're trying to pitch him, crowding right there. That's right where you'd want to pitch Chase Utley too. Five-time All-Star Jorge Posada.
And he pulls that into right field for his second hit of the ball game. You can still become a Marlins season ticket holder. Enjoy the best rewards and benefits in the majors and plan for every fan and budget. And they start at just $85. Season ticket plan is the best way to secure great seats for Super Saturdays. 1-877 Marlins. Marlins baseball. It's where you want to be. Here is Swisher. He was sweet in the 5th with a double. Bounced into a double play and has struck out. Rolled up the middle. Ugla backhands, flips. Hanley's turn is in time. Nicely done. 4-6-3. Kind of an awkward turn by Hanley because he wasn't sure whether he wanted to pivot and spin around, but he had enough time where he could just turn and fire.
And I think Dan Ugla was thinking about sometimes you'll see the second baseman flip it out of his glove, but he reached in, the underhand flip, and then a nice turn by Hanley to get the throw in time. Good 4-6-3 double play.
Robinson Cano. Sanchez misses up. Cano singled back in the 2nd. Second inning, the big inning for the Yankees. They scored 3 times against Sean West. Jumped out to a 4-0 lead. Made it 5-0 on Melky Cabrera's home run in the 3rd. And from that point, it's been all Andy Pettitte.
You know, it was a little different when Sean West was matched up against his idol, Randy Johnson. He didn't really have to pitch to Randy Johnson only but a couple of times. He was pitching against the San Francisco Giants. So a little different tonight, pitching against a good lineup. And not the same pitcher he was in that game. 8 innings, 2 hits, and no runs against the Giants that night. But most of his pitches were down. And most of his pitches were up tonight.
Sanchez loses Cano and now gets Cabrera. The Yankees are trailing in the East by 3 games at 37 and 29, but they would be the wild card leaders if you were to stop the dance right now.
Well, they're enjoying seeing the scoreboard and seeing the Braves with a 7-2 lead against the Red Sox tonight.
The team that is creeping up on the Yankees in the wild card race are the Los Angeles Angels. They've won 6 in a row and they're 35 and 29.
Yeah, just a game and a half behind the Rangers now.
But nobody wants to win the American League Central. Cleveland, one of the real disappointments this season. 10 games under in the basement. The Tigers lead, but they're just 4 over. The Twins are 2 back at an even 500. Then you've got the White Sox 4 under. Kansas City 7 under.
Cleveland had a 7-0 lead early in the game against the Cubs this afternoon at Wrigley Field, and the Cubs came back and won that game 8-7.
Sanchez gets a strike. It's now 1-1.
And if I'm not mistaken, Cleveland had their Cy Young pitcher on the mound, Cliff Lee. So Cliff Lee could not hold the 7-0 lead. Or perhaps his bullpen, too.
Yeah, Cubs got a run in the bottom of the 9th to tie it. And then one in the bottom of the 10th to win it. D. Lee, not Cliff Lee, was the big name at the end of that ball game. He had a pair of home runs.
Boy, he's on a tear. Dealey had 4 RBIs, a home run yesterday. I think a 16-game hitting streak now.
His second homer tied the game in the 9th. Brian Terrio had a bad hop single to win it in the 10th. Do you think they call him D. Lee in Chicago? I know it's interesting. You and I go in different places.
Yeah, we talked about that, didn't we?
Some of the names you know, guys, like Boston, I don't think anyone calls him Mikey Lowell, but down here, a lot of people call him Mikey.
The only guy who may call him D. Lee in Chicago would be their TV voice, Len Casper.
Yep. We've not heard a JP out of any of the Dodger people for Juan Pierre.
You don't hear Vinny calling Juan Pierre JP.
2-2. Here's the 3-2 pitch. The attendance tonight, 35,027.
Nicely done. Makes for a little excitement. A little more fun for everybody at the ballpark.
Melky Cabrera with a lengthy at bat.
Of course, the Red Sox tonight going for their 502nd consecutive sellout.
There were probably, I would say, 5,000 to 8,000 left at 11:30 last night when they called it. It stuck around.
Well, the funny thing, and we talked about it briefly, we saw Steve Foster, Marlins bullpen coach, head out toward the bullpen, and when he did, it wasn't raining at that moment. So a lot of the crowd that had stuck around thought that meant he was going out there to warm up the pitcher or something like that. Basically, he was going out there to pick up the rest of the equipment and bring it back in. But at that time, a few fans started to come down into their seats.
Dan Meyer gets loose. Marlins got a win, and they didn't have to use the bullpen last night, which gave that pen a night off.
Boy, it was nice to see Ricky Nolasco throw the way he was throwing.
Angel Baroa. Baroa getting the start at third base. Alex Rodriguez tonight and tomorrow night, apparently he'll get off. So expect to see Alex on Sunday night.
So he'll be in the lineup in that CC Sabathia Chris Volstad game Sunday. You can relax. You can visit with friends and family.
One and two. Got him. Baroa strikes out. Sanchez has worked 2 scoreless innings, but the Marlins need some runs.
One out, and then they turned it over to Pettit after a nice lead. One of the mistakes he's made, about the only one, a home run, number 11 from Cody Ross. Changeups tonight. He has had that cutter, but he's turned the ball over, got a few changeups, picked up some strikeouts, and most importantly for Andy Pettit, he has not walked a batter in his 6 innings.
Pettit gets his third look at Dan Uggla, Ronnie Polino, and Jeremy Hermida in the 7th. Slow breaking ball. Uggla called out on strikes and has popped out. Check swing. He went. 1-1.
Dan Uggla has seen a lot of off-speed stuff. He's seen that curveball a lot from Pettit tonight.
If you're going to get to the Yankees, you want to get to them before the 9th, obviously. With Mariano Rivera, the Yankees are 29-1 when leading after 8 innings. Second time that we've seen a Sebas.
Well, Pettit's just gone over the 100 pitch mark. And again, good off-speed pitch, good changeup.
Uggla's punched out twice tonight. We check in with Craig Minervini. Craig?
Well, where you are in Bud Beach, we'll be out here on Tuesday for the Florida Fantasy Auction, of course. And Alex is out here. You come out a few times a year with your group. What makes this a special place to catch a game, Alex?
This is where the Budweiser friends meet.
Is that your group?
Yes, it is. This is where we bring all our people, our friends, our clients.
Your buddy here, you're telling me that they're giving him. Well, he almost stumbled over here. These shorts here. Now that they're coming back. That look, is that right?
No, they're here. They're not coming. Yeah, they're here.
All right. What about you, ladies? Are you having fun out here? Why do you like watching the game?
I love the seats. I love Budweiser. I love the Marlins.
All right, sounds like a NASCAR interview with all the sponsorship out here. Have you been watching the game?
Yes, we have. As much as we can see.
Oh, they got him there, guys. All right, we'll see you Tuesday night out here. Bud Beach, tell some fans to come out. It's a good place to watch the game, right?
Absolutely.
Thanks, Alex. Man of few words, but says a lot. Back to you guys. We'll see you Tuesday night out here.
Angel Baroa with help from Mark Teixeira. Wow, it was close.
Just couldn't dance around him. Ronnie Paulino could, the way Hanley Ramirez was able to, and it looked like Teixeira just caught him on the back. Good play by Baroa.
So Pettit needs an out to get through the 7th. And in all likelihood, deliver it to the Yankee bullpen. Pettit is due to lead off in the 8th. And he's at 105 pitches.
Well, his last 4 starts, he has not gone this long in a game. Ryan Bruni starts to loosen up now.
Wow. Down goes Hermida. This is vintage Andy Pettit. Rob Drake and Jeremy Hermida disagreeing. And Jeff Nelson, the submarine right-hander. Tom Gordon, Kyle Farnsworth. Just as middle relievers keep their team in the game, you two can stay in the game with just remain hair color.
Well, we're going to see a new. How'd the Red Sox fan get here? He's lost.
He's rooting for the
He's
Marlins.
Rooting for the Marlins. We know that. We're going to see 2 new faces. Dan Meyer comes in to pitch, and he'll be facing Hideki Matsui. And we'll probably only see Matsui in pinch hitting roles. He DHs. His knees aren't in that great a shape but still can swing the bat.
Meyer backs him up with a breaking ball. Meyer has put together a very solid year, trying to make this his first full year in the big leagues. This is appearance number 33. He and Kiko Calero and Leo Nunez have been mainstays, setting up for Matt Lindstrom.
And was able to, in Toronto, first game of that series, pick up his first major league win.
Matsui is 35 now, and as you pointed out, the knee is a little bit creaky. His 7th year with the Yankees.
Boy, a 3-time MVP in Japan.
This is the last year of his contract.
Most around the Yankees feel this will be his last year as a Yankee.
Takes a pitch up. So a leadoff walk here in the 8th.
Number 2, shortstop, Derek Jeter.
Here comes Jeter. Derek Jeter is 2 for 3, and the one out was a line shot to center.
When his first inning double, the 424th of his career, and that tied him with Babe Ruth for 4th place on the all-time Yankees double list. And Jeter, all of a sudden, you start seeing his name along with Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig and the likes.
Oh yeah. Which prompts a question. In about 15-20 years, out at Monument Park, is Derek Jeter out there?
Without question. And you'll probably see, could be alongside Mariano Rivera.
Well, Rivera, the Panamanian, one of the great closers in the game's history. Maybe the best postseason closer in the game's history by sheer numbers and by performance.
Well, over the last 15 years, the American League has had Mariano Rivera and the National League has had Trevor Hoffman.
Obviously, Rivera's been to the postseason a lot more than Hoffman has. 76 postseason appearances. 34 postseason saves. Ground ball, should be 2. Hanley's got 1 on to first in time. So Dan Meyer, after the leadoff walk, gets Jeter to roll into a double play. Home Depot doing more on defense.
Boy, this one a little more conventional than the double play the Marlins turned in the 7th, which was also 4-6-3. But this one right in front of Dan Uggla, the nice flip.
So out of the Yankee group of the World Series run, the 4 World Championships, the 2 World Series where the Yankees were beaten by Arizona and by the Marlins, Jeter gets a monument. Rivera gets a monument.
I mean, could you have an argument for Posada and Bernie Williams? Yes. But I think if you're looking at 2 who are a notch above those 2,
right,
who deserve monuments, it would be Jeter and Rivera.
All right.
You can't give monuments to everybody.
It's true. They'd run out of room. Have to build a 3rd Yankee Stadium. We know how expensive the second one was. Up the middle, off of Meyer, and it's going to be a base hit for Damon. Say in 3 or 4 years, Alex Rodriguez is still there and hitting home runs. Does he gain admittance to that club, or has he not been a Yankee or contributed enough?
I think in order for that to happen, they're going to have to win some world championships. And they've yet to do that with A-Rod. Does Joe Torre find his way to Monument Park?
That's a good call. Andy Pettitte might be in that Posada, Bernie Williams group.
Now, you have arguments, and people would say, well, yeah, they wouldn't have gotten those championships without Bernie Williams, without Jorge Posada. But I think if you look at the entire picture, the two that we talked about would be there.
Mark Teixeira. Oh, and 2.
Well, it's always fun, and it's such a great franchise with all the history. And I know anyone who's ever gone to the old Yankee Stadium and now the new Yankee Stadium, that certainly is a must to visit the monuments. Yeah, it's kind of the way I looked when I got up this morning. It was a long night.
Monument Park. It's a growing trend here at the ballpark. Do you know that Pope John Paul has a monument? I didn't think he hit enough home runs to get there, but apparently for overall performance, he has a plaque in Monument Park. Ron Guidry, Reggie Jackson, Bob Shepard.
So there is a name that is not there that also comes up certainly in Yankee history, and that would be Don Mattingly.
Hanley deep in the hole, and it climbs up his arm. Teixeira's going to get a base hit.
Now that's still a play that gives Hanley trouble when he goes to his backhand. Not an easy play. Ball was hit well by Teixeira.
There he is. You know what? I need to correct that. Mattingly does have a plaque.
Okay, I thought he did.
He was on the back page as I was reading the plaques.
Okay, I thought he did.
Mel Allen is there. Bob Shepard is there. Pope Benedict is out there as well.
Of course, many Yankee fans able to fly down to South Florida, get a hotel room, get a ticket for this game, and find that it was cheaper than sitting behind home plate at New Yankee Stadium.
And you have enough left over for a nice brunch on Sunday.
That's right.
Roger Maris, Phil Rizzuto, Billy Martin, Whitey Ford, Lefty Gomez, Munson's out there, Casey Stengel.
If Billy Martin's there, Joe Torre will be there.
Oh, without a doubt.
Even though the parting of ways may not have been the way Joe wanted or the organization wanted. couple of infield hits here with 2 out.
Damon and Teixeira aboard. Ball skips away from Paulino, and it rolls towards the Marlins dugout. Wild pitch.
Boy, this is one of those innings that can get away, and you just want to make sure you get one more out. But as I mentioned, the walk, but then the double play really helped out Dan Meyer. Damon's infield base hit, Teixeira's infield base hit, now a wild pitch.
So it's 2-1 to Posada. Chopper, Helms, short hop, fires across in time. So the Marlin bullpen has been outstanding after a rough start for Sean West. It's 5-1 Yankees. Marlins and Yankees, and the Yankee bullpen dips its toe in the water. Brian Bruni comes on.
Yeah, he's one of those guys you watch him throw. He's a max effort guy with that fastball that gets into the mid-90s. He cuts it once in a while. Kind of a slurve, a breaking ball that he uses. Changes up to left-handers. But spent a lot of time on the disabled list last year.
And a 15-day stop on the DL this year.
Yeah, he's just off.
A strained right elbow flexor. Here is Cody Ross. Pitcher spot due up next. Ross Glode has a bat. There's your max effort fastball. And it's 1-0. It's interesting how they list his injuries. He's had 2 DL stints this year. One was with that strained right elbow flexor muscle. The other was with a sore arm. Here's the pitch. Cody, it's a high fly ball that Johnny Damon calls for.
I could always understand the sore arm better. And if you look back at last year, he was placed on the disabled list in April. Spent a lot of time. He spent about 3 months on the disabled list with a Lisfanc injury. Lisfanc. Now, to me, I would just prefer sore arm because I'm not actually sure what that is. So please Google Lisfanc.
He was
I think it means,
German baron.
It means sore arm.
Back in the 1800s. And he was the first to diagnose Lisfranc syndrome. No, it's a foot injury, it looks like. Lisfranc? Or Lisfanc? Yeah, it has something to do with the foot. A dislocation fracture of the foot.
Okay. There's no R in this one, just FANC.
I think that's Franck. Here's the 2-0. Into the seats, and it's 2-1. There must be witness protection night at the ballpark as well, because we've seen numerous masks and get-ups. See, now that's our director leading us into a path of
trying to get me in trouble again.
Of danger.
I pass.
Where was he going on that? Here's the 2-1.
Somewhere along
the
witness protection line, I think.
Let's get Rich and Tommy suspended.
It's a great-looking mustache.
That is.
And probably a Tommy Bahamas shirt.
A colorful shirt. Almost a Goose Gossage type mustache. How about Goose Gossage? Maybe he should have a. Maybe he's on that back page with Mattingly. I better look. Here's the 2-2. It's fouled back.
Hey, I think it's Avery Schreiber.
Yeah.
Remember that guy? He's in that potato chip commercial.
Oh yeah. See, and only Craig would know Avery Schreiber.
I don't see Gossage on either the front or
I don't think he was a Yankee long enough. I mean, he was certainly, but.
Ross Glow takes up. Bruni exited the mound as if he had the strikeout. 3-2.
He was just being careful of his Lisfranc. Right now we have doctors and people that are going nuts right now.
Well, that's kind of the way the night has gone for the Fish.
Yeah, there have been a few balls hit hard. Ronnie Paulino play at third. Good play by Baroa. Good play by Swisher in right field on a sinking line drive. But you're right. And, you know, Freddie Gonzalez, the ball club, the Marlins, they are not going to make excuses. But believe me, you and I know how we feel, and we're not playing a game, getting it in the time of morning that we did. It's not easy to do at this level. Sometimes you come out, things work out, so you just have to regroup and get back out here tomorrow night.
The Yankees probably got in
about 3 o'clock. They were a little bit better, yeah.
They had the long wait of the rain delay yesterday.
And we might add that Sean West did fly ahead of the club. He was not on that plane last night. I'm not sure about Andy Pettit because they actually had a 1 o'clock game, so he may have thought, well, I'll just stay with the club.
Sometimes that works out, sending the pitcher in front of the club. As long as the pitcher doesn't stay out all night where he's going.
Waiting for his teammates to arrive.
Yeah.
That has happened.
I know it has. Coughlin swings and misses, and it's 1-2. The team trudges into the hotel at 3 or 4 in the morning, and there's the next night's starting pitcher. Hi, guys. Bruni misses inside, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, right now, Chris Coughlin, it's a small streak, but trying to keep his streak alive. He's 0 for 3, but trying to extend it to 7 games.
Check, swing, nope, went around. So says Mark Wegner. Coughlin throws the bat and the helmet. He's not real happy. He's glaring out there at him right now. The number to call today. Cody Ross's home run. That was in the third against Andy Pettit. Andy Pettit would go 7 innings and give up just that 1 run on only 3 hits. Matt Lindstrom comes out of the bullpen. He'll get an inning of work, try to sharpen up in hopes that tomorrow night or Sunday night he's needed in a save situation.
Up until this point, a good job by the bullpen, Rich. 4 innings, 3 hits, no runs. So nicely done by Pinto, Sanchez, and Meyer. And they turn it over to Matt Lindstrom.
We'll see if that side session in Boston sharpened him up. Brett Tomko, Major League veteran. Nick Swisher sends one up in the air to left field. Chris Coughlin. That brings Cano up with Cabrera to follow. In the 9th inning, the New York Yankees are on top of the Marlins 5-1 on a night where Andy Pettit came out and pitched very well. Is in line for his 7th win. He could go to 7-3. And that would lead the Yankees in wins. How about that? The Marlins will have seen in 2 consecutive series. Lindstrom gets it. Tim Wakefield, the Red Sox leader in wins, and Andy Pettit looks like he'll be the Yankee leader in wins after tonight. Geico brings you our Geico quote of the night. When you have 3 meals at the ballpark before you start the game, it's been a long day. That's Manny Acta.
That's a great line. After a 5.5-hour rain delay, but the Nationals made the most of it, and they picked up the win. Thanks in part to Craig Stammen. Their young pitcher went 6 1/3 shutout innings against the Yankees.
I guess if you're going to get stuck somewhere for that long, you might as well get stuck at a brand new ballpark. I'm sure the clubhouse in the visiting clubhouse, home clubhouse, state of the art.
Better getting stuck in a new ballpark like that than, let's say, a Wrigley Field that has a tiny clubhouse.
Well, Fenway's kind of cramped too. Or a clubhouse that has a bad chef. You don't want that golf ball chili. We won't name the clubhouse in the National League. Here's the 1-2. How did that story go? The chili didn't taste right.
Is the chili fresh? And the attendant obviously always said yes. And so a particular player dropped a golf ball in the chili. And like the third day of the trip, asked again, hey, is this chili fresh? Of course it is. And reached down, and there was the golf ball.
Oh. Oh.
I think it was a Titleist.
And you couldn't pick it up and clean it at the U.S. Open this week, could you? You'd have to play it as is.
Yeah. No lift, clean, and place.
That's right.
Well, this is good. The silliness hasn't set in until the 9th inning.
Yeah, well, it very easily could have started in the first, as punchy as many of us feel. Lindstrom misses outside, and it counts 2-2 with 2 outs, 9th inning. Ground ball, tough hop. Cantu plays it. And a nice 1-2-3 inning for Lindstrom. That side session in Boston helps out. And Lindy is sharp, but the Marlins are down to their last 3 outs. Like Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 800-947-AUTO. And by Tobacco Free Florida. Tobacco Free Florida wants you to be tobacco free. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com for more information. Well, the bottom of the 9th rolls around. And it's not Mariano Rivera, though he's not far behind if Brett Tomko should falter.
Boy, the well-traveled Brett Tomko, he's been with 8 different teams over his 13-year career. Originally drafted by the Reds. Marlins have seen him a lot over the years.
Helms, Hanley, Cantu. Helms pops it up. Well, the Phillies lost again tonight at home. It's a Nolan Reimold, the Baltimore Oriole youngster, has hit another home run, his 8th.
You know who's actually getting a little playing time, and we were checking the box scores the other day, is Robert Andino.
Yes, he is.
There's Mariano Rivera.
One and 2 to Helms. Yeah, Nolan Reimold, the Bowling Green product. Out in the center field. Teammate of Bert Badenhouse. Now has 8 home runs. Marlin fans, a very special ticket offer to announce. Log on to marlins.com/sun and get infield box seats for just $10. Act now, save up to 77% on infield box seats when the Marlins host the Orioles next week. It's a special limited time offer. Log on to marlins.com/sun now. $10 infield box seats, so you can have a up close view of Nick Markakis
and Nolan Reimold,
Adam Jones, Reimold, Matt Wieters,
Aubrey Huff, if he's still there, hasn't been traded,
our good friend Ty Wigginton. He's got the Fish shirt and the Yankee hat.
Yeah, he couldn't make the decision. That's okay.
Glad to have you here. Toronto and Washington are still tied 1-1 going into the bottom of the 9th. Up in D.C. Atlanta finished off Boston 8-2. Dice K gets the loss, and he got knocked around.
Well,
I wonder how long they're going to stick with.
Got some decisions to make there.
Yeah, that whole 6-man rotation. They've invested so much money in him, though. They need him to succeed. Hanley swinging from his heels. Sends it out into center.
Well, I tell you what, if you look ahead to tomorrow night, fans are in for a big treat. It'd be a great opportunity to come out here, and if you can't make it out here, at least check us out. But A.J. Burnett, you know deep down he'd like to come back here and throw a good game, and he goes up against Josh Johnson. There is going to be some heat. There's going to be some 97, 98 mile-an-hour fastballs tomorrow night.
High definition for the A.J.-J.J. matchup. Cantu 1 for 3, but he's lined to center twice and doubles. So the Phillies lose, which is good news for the Fish. But the Braves win, which is bad news. That could knock the Marlins into 4th place.
You know, the other little bit of concern, since the Marlins left Toronto, they had that 11-3 win on Sunday. The Fish have scored just 6 runs in their last 4 games.
Cantu back to the mound. Tomko finishes the 9th, and the Yankees win. They beat the Marlins 5-1 on a night